Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Today we're going to be looking at the complete deck list of Yu-Gi-Oh Rush Duels for Structure Deck 1. We'll be covering the second one in another video which we linked down in the description. The first card is Galactica Oblivion. This is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 7 with 2500 attack and defense. This is the boss monster for the alien creature who is supposed to be a supporting character within the series. Universe Dea is a light attribute galaxy type level 7 with 2200 attack and 2000 defense. The requirement is to send one card from your hand to the graveyard, and the effect is to choose one face-up monster on your opponent's field. It loses 800 attack until the end of this turn. Then, if you send a galaxy type normal monster to the graveyard to meet this requirement, you gain 800 life points. Essentially, this means that this card can go toe-to-toe with anything that has 3000 attack points or less. In the case of a 3000, it would become a similar attack points to this, and they'd just crash. Anything lower than that, and this would be able to be over it. The other benefit is if the card you discard is the galaxy type normal monster, you gain an extra 800 life points. It's not bad for a level 7 monster, but it does require 2 tributes to bring it out. Cosmo Titan is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 7 with 2300 attack and 1800 defense. This tends to be like the borderline of level 7 monsters, and it's okay considering it's not the main boss monster. Galactica Amnesia is a light attribute galaxy type level 6 with 1600 attack and 1500 defense. The requirement is to place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. The effect is to special summon 2 level 6 or lower galaxy type normal monsters from your graveyard face up to your field. This turn you can only attack with galaxy type monsters. This is quite decent because even though it does cost you a card from the hand, it does revive 2 level 6 or lower monsters, in which you can actually tribute over those monsters to bring out a higher level monster. It does restrict you to only attacking with galaxy type monsters, but you're most likely going to be running a pure build. The challenge with this card is, since it's a level 6, you do have to also use a tribute to bring it out. So to use its effects, you're essentially having to get rid of 2 additional cards. Rebirth Cycle is a light attribute galaxy type level 6 with 1600 attack and 0 defense. The requirement is to shuffle 4 galaxy type monsters from your graveyard into the deck. The effect is to draw 1 card. This is a bit like a Pot of Avarice specifically for the galaxy types. It's okay because it recovers your monsters and you do get the benefit of an additional draw. Heaven Gansel is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster, level 6 with 2100 attack and 400 defense. I think this is around the baseline for level 6 monsters at 2100, so it's just the equivalent as a galaxy type. Silver Seifer is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 6 with 2000 attack and 800 defense. Much like the previous monster, it is around the baseline, and it's just another galaxy type monster to fill the deck. Meteor Rhino is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 5 with 1700 attack and 800 defense. This is again around the baseline for level 5 monsters, and this is the galaxy equivalent. Strange Traveler is a light attribute galaxy type level 4 with 1100 attack and 200 defense. The requirement is if you have a face-up galaxy type normal monster on your field, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, and the effect is choose one face-up monster on your opponent's field. It loses 500 attack until the end of this turn. This is similar to the level 7 version, but this actually has a more minimal effect. It reduces by less, so this can actually go over anything that's 1500 or less and match a 1600 attack monster by using its effect. It only requires you to have another galaxy type monster on the field, and you just need to send the top card of the deck to the graveyard. Neither condition is difficult to meet, especially when you can summon more times than once in a turn. Transamu Rainak is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 4 with 1600 attack and 0 defense. This is kind of breaking the boundaries of level 4 monsters, which previously had a threshold of 1500 attack. I suppose this is signifying slightly more power towards the Rush Duels as we're entering into a brand new series. Bright Sentinel is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 4 with 1500 attack and 100 defense. This is again around the baseline of most level 4 monsters, and this is the galaxy equivalent. Shadow Sentinel is a dark attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 4 with 1500 attack and 100 defense. This is like the previous version, just a dark attribute, and it meets that requirement of the 1500 baseline as a maximum for level 4 monsters. Vortex Shooter is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 4 with 1400 attack and 1000 defense. This is around that same capped limit of level 4 monsters. Giant Bulge is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 4 with 1300 attack and 1300 defense. Unlike the previous versions, which seem to have attack as their dominating feature, this has got that balance of attack and defense. Orbit Skater is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 3 with 800 attack and 1400 defense. This is the defensive sign of the cap's limitations of level 4 or level 3 monsters. Sora Puyu is a light attribute galaxy type level 2 with 1000 attack and 0 defense. The requirement: you have 10 or more monsters in your graveyard, and the effect is to draw one card, then send one card from your hand to the graveyard. To me, the appearance of it looks like some form of Karibo, and I don't know why. Maybe it will get regionalized like that. The requirement can't be used straight away. You need to have at least 10 or more monsters in the graveyard. It's a simple draw one card, but then you have to replace the card that you've drawn with something to send to the graveyard. So it's neither a plus or a minus, it's a neutral. You're just hoping to draw into something better than what you already have in your hand. Transamu Klein is a light attribute galaxy type level 2 with 500 attack and 500 defense. The requirement: you have no other monsters on your field. The effect is to add one light attribute galaxy type normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. This turn you can only attack with galaxy type monsters. This is just a means of recovering a different monster. It can be any monster that meets the light attribute and galaxy type normals, so there are plenty of those. It does limit you to only attacking with galaxy type monsters, and it also can only use its effect whilst it's the only monster on your field. Interstellar is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 1 with 1000 attack and 0 defense. It's quite powerful considering that it has a level 1 rating and it's got 1000 attack points. Asta Oeva is a light attribute galaxy type normal monster. It's a level 1 with 900 attack and 100 defense. Similar to the previous one, Interstellar, this has quite a lot of attack points for a level 1 monster. Blades of Divine Wind is a normal spell card with no requirements. The effect is to destroy 2 face-up normal monsters on your field and 1 face-up level 8 or lower monster on your opponent's field. This reminds me a bit like Two-Pronged Attack, but as a spell card. In that case, you had to destroy 2 of your monsters to destroy one of your opponent's monsters. This does have limitations to it, unlike the previous one, in that this has to get rid of 2 of your face-up normal monsters to eliminate one of your opponent's level 8 or lower monsters. I'm not arguing that level 8 is that bad as the maximum limit on it, considering most monsters your opponent's running, unless their maximum monsters, tend to be at that point, but I'm just thinking it's too big of a cost just to activate the effect. Pierce is a normal spell card with no requirements. The effect is to choose 1 face-up monster on your field. If it attacks a defense position monster this turn, inflict piercing battle damage. If the attack of the attacking monster exceeds the defense of the attack target, inflict the difference. This just adds piercing damage to your monster for the turn. It's not powerful. It's nice to do additional points of damage, and if you've got a high attack monster, then that will actually make a difference. If this is being used against one of your level 4 monsters, you're going to do a couple of 100 points of additional damage. Galactica Force is a normal spell card with the requirement to shuffle 3 galaxy type monsters from your graveyard into the deck. The effect is all face-up galaxy type normal monsters on your field gain attack equal to the number of face-up normal monsters on the field times 300 until the end of this turn. The requirement on this card isn't difficult. You're most likely going to have those in the graveyard to trigger off the effect, and then from here it gains potentially another 900 attack points, and this is for all of your galaxy type normal monsters. You also need to consider what your opponent is running. If they've got all normal monsters, then that can be a lot. That could be up to 1800 points each monster you have. It's unlikely to get there. If you can control what you can do, most likely you'll get about 3, so that's 900 points each. If you've got 3 monsters that are galaxy type normal monsters, you can potentially get an extra 2700 points of damage, assuming the 3 monsters. Block Attack is a normal spell card with the effect: target 1 face-up attack position monster your opponent controls, change that target to face-up defense position. Sometimes in duels you have high attack monsters that have very low defense points. This is a good way of removing those monsters by putting them in a position where you can run over them with certain other monsters you already control. Rightful Magic is a normal spell card with the requirement: you have 2 or more face-up monsters with the same attribute on your field. The effect is to choose 1 face-up monster on your opponent's field. It loses 600 attack until the end of this turn. This isn't too difficult to achieve as an effect, provided you've got 2 monsters of the same attribute. It's very easy to do. You've only got 6 main attributes outside of Divine, and you're instantly able to wipe out 600 attack points of one monster your opponent has, which could be enough to clear that monster. Universe Storm is a normal spell card with the effect you have a face-up galaxy type monster on your field, and you can destroy one spell or trap card on your opponent's field. Consider this like a very specific mystical space typhoon, which has to be working towards your galaxy type deck. vacuumAnnihilation is a normal trap card with the requirement when an opponent's monster declares an attack while you have a face-up level 7 or higher galaxy type normal monster on your field. The effect is to destroy all attack position monsters on your opponent's field up to the number of face-up galaxy type normal monsters on your field. To trigger this effect, there's only one galaxy type monster that already meets this condition, so until we get more, this effect is going to be difficult to trigger off, but this happens to occur when your opponent declares an attack. That is also a concern if they are able to wipe this off the board before you actually go into the battle phase. The effect itself is not bad because destroying all of your opponent's attack position monsters times the galaxy monsters you have, it's fine. It's just the first part of the effect to trigger requires a specific level to it. Spiral Geyser is a normal trap card with the requirement when your opponent normal summons or sets a monster from the hand, the effect is to inflict 400 damage to your opponent. This turn your opponent cannot tribute face down monsters for a tribute summon. So this is a good way of locking your opponent from using any monsters they have already set face down. Problem is, since you can normal summon multiple times within a turn, if they've only set one card face down and they're normal summoning other monsters, then that's not going to be a problem for them. They can just tribute over those cards instead of the set one. The only condition on this as well is 400 points of burn damage, which is okay, and it does happen within a very easy requirement just whenever your opponent normal summons or sets. Very easy to trigger multiple times. Transamu Arrive is a normal trap card with the requirement when a face-up galaxy type monster on your field is destroyed by an opponent's attack or their card effect and you have no other monsters on your field, the effect is to special summon one galaxy type normal monster with 1600 or more attack from your hand or graveyard to your field in face-up attack position. This is quite specific. It's a bit like a hero emerges in that you can only really do this in response to having nothing left on your field. You can only essentially have the one galaxy monster that you have to rely on your opponent to destroy. The good thing is it's either by attack or by card effect, so they're going to have to do it in one way or the other. And then you get to special summon a high attack galaxy type monster. At the most, it caps off at 2500, but I'm sure as the series goes on, there will be more powerful versions. Brutal Retribution is a normal trap card with the requirement when two or more face-up normal monsters on your field are destroyed at the same time by an opponent's card effect, the effect is to special summon up to 2 monsters from your graveyard face up to your field. This is quite specific and would have to work in response to things such as Mirror Force, as 2 monsters have to be destroyed at the same time by an opponent's card effect. So you are very limited to what you can do. It has to be examples such as that, or mass destruction effects. The benefits are you do get to special summon up to 2 monsters from your graveyard face up to the field. There is no limitation as to the attack, the level, the typing, the attribute. There's no restrictions on that, but it's just difficult to approach to force your opponent into that situation. Nebula Power is a normal trap card with the requirement when your opponent normal summons a monster, the effect is choose one face up galaxy type normal monster on your field. It gains attack equal to the number of monsters on your opponent's field times 500 until the end of this turn. Potentially you could make your monster up to 3000 or more attack points if they've got 3 monsters on their field. The benefit is this triggers as soon as your opponent normal summons a monster, but it would have been nice to have been able to trigger it whenever within the turn, so it could have been activated during the battle phase to force your opponent to take battle damage. This represents all the cards which can be found within the first structure deck, which is the blue one, and that's the alien creature. I hope you enjoyed that. If you like my content, please click into the end screen to help support the channel and watch another of these videos.